My hometown of Marquette, Michigan is not exactly a climber's paradise. Although in the years that I have lived here I have found climbs that appeal to me personally, it seems that any of them becoming a classic route that will see many ascents is a far-off reality. It's because of this that I am drawn to photograph these climbs and to share my experience with the wild nature, bouldering, and climbing here in Marquette. I enjoy these climbs because of their random scattering over and through a dense forest with wild swamps and ridges that hide the rocks from view. Over the last 2 years, I have put together small videos of my favorite less traveled climbs here on my channel, Marquette Climbing. I'm making these new videos to help give perspective and background to my experience of climbing in Michigan. These videos also serve as a visual palette to the life soundtrack I am constantly creating here at Walking with Balance Studios. It is my mission to blend the songs that are inspired by climbing and nature with the visual aspect of climbing and nature here in my hometown of Marquette, Michigan.
Slept long enough in your whole life and remember the feelings and never let go of the pride for the healings and wounds in this smile. Peace, fall into it now and stumble all the way down. Grounded in reality, searching for vitality, bring me back to this. I can't regress, depressing us, switch sides from time to time, and time won't mind me staying for a while with the bright but lonely smile. Child, it was worth the while. Well, all the while we're filing away the memories of today, and it's sad to say I hate you, sorry, bother me when I'm actually here. Fear has made me flee, scarier than all the years of building up this quest in my mind. For heaven's sake, I wish I could buy more time to waste on indecisionless pride.
Hogsback Mountain is a local landmark with its bare rock summit and faces scattered with ledges and small cliffs that provide fun solo climbing. The amount of bouldering projects here is surprisingly large, but most of them are in hard to access places off the trails, making getting to them a project of their own.
Peace, fall into it now and stumble all the way down.
The Hogsback Finger crack is one of the only well-known boulder projects in the area. This classic little climb is as good as it looks, and for me I felt like saving it. Up until the day of this footage, I had only half attempted to climb it in approach shoes. The climb proved to be an instant classic.
Run to the well. Start the climb, thought everything was fine, but the line screws in, some nuts to loose on the head wall so tall, didn't want to fall back to thinking and drinking from the well. Well, hell, let's spell it out for you.
The Scoop is an awesome little cave right on the big lake. It has a few good direct lines and a very fun traverse from a sit start on the right. Any way you slice it, it's worth the hike.
First things first, appease my thirst. First things first, bring us to the well to fill our bones, to fill our souls. Never felt so helpless without you, oh. Bring us to the well to fill our bones, to fill our souls. Never felt so helpless without you, oh. Never felt so helpless without you, oh.
The climbing along the lakeshore from Wetmore Landing to Sugarloaf Mountain represents the roots of my climbing career. I've spent lots of sunsets here enjoying good climbs with friends. The rocky coast and scenery here is about as stunning as it gets, and combined with one of the biggest lakes on Earth, it makes for a landscape like no other.
Comfort not an option, peace not hopping on the bandwagon, taking along to the song of desperation at the station. Trains leaving soon, better get in the mood to deal, cause it's about to get real, and feelings shoot off with no warning. Can I see your boarding pass? This is the last train out here, I said this is the last. We blame it on the rain till we go insane and forget you're walking and talking your way through this story. Built for worry, will I ever drink again from the well to fill our bones, to fill our souls? Never felt so helpless without you, oh, never felt so helpless without you, oh. But when it's dry, I can't help but think, who deserves this more than I do? This can't be true, I won't believe it was you, not you. Do me a favor, please, and appease my thirst.
I found climbing on the lakeshore on a calm night shrinks your perspective. It shrinks it down to just what's in the focus of the lights or what's right in front of you, and the rhythm of the waves provide a constant soundtrack.
I don't wanna do tonight what you thought I would do. Fight emotions in oceans, flowing boats past the sunset to set the sun up for regret that it came down.
Presque Isle Park in Marquette is known for its black rocks. Here are two less traveled routes near the popular Marquette classic, the Traverse, which goes at V6. These routes go at more modest grades and provide a good warm-up for the popular Traverse, which is becoming more polished as time goes on and increasing the difficulty. There's also rope climbing and water soloing in the park, but are limited to the pinnacle area and the black rock jumping cliffs. All can be accessed by car on a one-way paved path that circles the park.
Silence rolls around what was last on the table, fleeing my home. For the sake of my brother, I'll love like no other, cause I wanna see everybody in their own light, explore the right to be an individual, privilege of living and giving love to a hateful, wasteful abrasive existence, persistent that only the misguided will find it. In a lost kingdom, completely meaningless feelings not attached to the body, but oddly floating softly on the winds of, and after it becomes love, we'll find another reason to get stuck in ego. We slowly go out the door, remember no more, and realize what I'm dying for. Cold silence soaks my home, build me a castle around what was last our real home.
Sugarloaf Mountain is a well-known hiking destination just outside of Marquette, with its well-traveled trails, wooden stairways that lead you to the summit, and a viewing platform that overlooks Lake Superior. There are many hidden gems on this mountain that has so much almost climbable rock, some that are so close to the popular trails that they seem to be overlooked. The Flying Frog Roof, as I call it, was a top rope project that I worked on after climbing next to it on one of the only Sugarloaf routes that I had heard of. I was surprised to find holds in all the right places, and after leading the classic crack and checking the gear, I decided that I would someday lead this short route that nobody else seemed to be interested in. mild winter, while working on 2 new crack climbs below the summit of Sugarloaf, we cleaned some junk out of a bare-looking cave that had potential for a nice bouldering traverse. Shortly thereafter, I had worked all the moves and was ready to return the next day to give it a good go.
That's what I've always heard has been said. Well, my heart is right here, right now, right running through my head. So please produce some blood so that I can feel at home. Feed the ground, cold surrounds you before the last breath of love sings softly from your lips.
Traditional climbing is a style that speaks to the adventurer in me. To establish your ropes from the ground up, even on a small climb, shows self-reliance and confidence in the systems and physics of climbing. On small climbs like this one, there is not a lot of room to fall, so gear must be placed well and placed wherever possible to maintain safety. While safety is a priority, the possibility of falling in the unknown is what drives people like me to go out and climb. I've done this climb many times on top rope, but every time I lead it, it seems to take on a different color. A different challenge. Climbing it with the top rope isn't pointless, but it seems like only training for the experience of being able to walk up, tie in, put your shoes on, rack up and climb to the top, with the gear being only as good as how you rig it. You only have your judgment and skill as an overall climber to keep you safe.
One face is a nameless grace of a patient case who wanted to break the legs that hold me up. Damn, I've lost my love, but I can't think. It's cold in my head without someone to keep it warm. Warn the swarm to leave the booze and distrust at the door. Keep the fuck out, I'm never gonna want it anymore till you come through with just someone. I never thought I knew too much about this trust they spoke of. Joke was broken just like my heart, put back together. I'm better if you can be whether or not we fall back to the past. We bring our paths. Show me how to love, tell me what's been going on. If ever I'll lose faith, then I believe, complete the task, grow old and die. Sigh, smile wild and fly on wings of breath till death do we part ways, or stay here today. Play and forget in the past, grow a new life at last. If fast I'd say goddamn, at least I'm happy today.
After another lead climb of the crack, I decided to try the roof. I placed the first piece of gear on rappel. After an attempt to lead it earlier that year, I decided that my first placement was creating too much rope drag and that just running it out to the second piece was easier. Unfortunately, placing the second piece, a small stopper on lead, I couldn't get it in how I wanted it, and I had to down climb several times. On this day I decided to just place it on the way down to avoid the smash into the slab below and provide a safe placement for the climb. There were only 3 pieces of gear on the route, so I decided not to pre-place the other gear to keep the feel more traditional. I have still been back since to try and place the stopper from the ground, but again failed to get the piece solid enough to truss, leaving me with challenge still on a small stone I've been coming to for years and a perspective that we can always learn from the world around us.